at the moment at centre back. Imagine him in midfield. Wow.
Oh, mate. But change for Tottenham done really good job on the protest last week against Daniel Levy. What are you saying on them?
Oh, the protest. Here we go. This Levy out agenda is driving me also
What?
crazy. What are you guys doing? I'm Levy in.
What?
I'm
You're
Levy
not
in.
Levy in. No way you
You
are.
saw the guy with the sign, Levy in. I wanted to stand next to him. I wanted to have him on my shoulders. I wanted to put him on
What?
the chair and
Mate,
dance
you need
around.
sectioning. The man in white coats are going to come to your house soon.
Look, it's late. It's late at night. We could go on this all night long. Next time we do a proper Levy channel, a Levy program,
Give me. Okay, just give me one reason why you'd want to keep Levy. Just one.
just from look at the start, from where when Levy took over at Tottenham and where we are now.
That means nothing.
No one can deny that we're a completely bigger, better club since Levy has come in, correct?
No. Okay, take out Alan Sugar. Are we better than the 80s?
I don't know about going back that far. All I know about the 80s is on VHS, a bit of Glenn Hoddle. That's all I know about the 80s, to be honest.
Are we better than the chairman before? Oh, I don't know the name. Are we better than the 80s?
It was Irving Scholar.
Are we better than? Is Levy better than Irving Scholar?
Yeah, probably not, but I don't
Well, there
know
you
what
go then. So,
competition
all
was
you're,
like then.
all you're judging this on is against Alan Sugar, basically.
It's not being about better than Alan Sugar or being a better than Irving Scholar. I agree with what he says. You know, the club is in a different stratosphere to what the club
No, the
that
business.
Leeds
No,
took
the
over.
business is not the football club.
Even the club is on a different stratosphere. We've got a lot more kind of capabilities at what we can do now. But he's taken us as far as he can go. The guy makes bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. We
In
sacked
terms of what?
Pochettino.
Signings or managers? What bad decision?
Both. Everything. Investment in the squad. We're making bucket loads of revenues and we're sitting there seventh, competing with the Aston Villas in terms of wage spend. Like,
It's
he's a penny
difficult.
pincher. He's been penny pinching on the
course.
wages. We're decreasing on the wages year after year. We're signing players like Timo Werner. Like, tell me what good Levy has done in the last 5 years.
Well, in the last 5 years, he has spent. You saw that graphic that came out, the stats that we were with third net spend of all the teams over the last 5 years. So what more do you want? He is spending money. We definitely are spending money. The
We're
wage
spending money,
structure,
but our
yes,
wages are going down.
very under control. Yeah, I know. I think Ben Davies is still below 50k a week or something like that, which is really funny when you consider players of his caliber for other big clubs, they're on 100, 120 grand a week. Yeah, the wages is, we can give more money and that will attract bigger players, but ultimately bigger players want to go to bigger clubs. Luis Diaz, just perfect example. As soon as a big club hears that a player's on their way to Spurs, they think, hang on, why don't we sign him? And they come along and they snap him from us. And that's the way it will be. We are Tottenham. We are not a bigger club than Liverpool. We're not a bigger club than United. They will attract bigger players than us. And it's not only because of money. We were giving out a lot of money. Harry Kane was on big money. I think Son is on good money too. I don't know all the facts, to be honest, with the wages. But in terms of the players, the caliber of players that he has brought to this club over the years since he's been here, unbelievable. We've had some of the best players in the world have played at Tottenham.
And we've had some of the most, like, the worst dross as well.
I know,
You
but it's easy to be where we are now and say, oh, we could be better. But look where we were. Do you remember, Ben, our first Champions League game, Bremen away? We were buzzing. We were so excited. We thought, what are we doing here? This is amazing. And the fact we got to a Champions League final, we were in the Champions League final. If I would have told you 10, 15 years ago, we're going to play in the Champions League final, you'd say, how?
Yeah,
How
that's
do we even...
more that's more on the miracles that Poch was doing rather than Levy.
Yeah, but we get to a Champions League final and then a couple of years later, we're not in Europe at all. The club has gone on a downward trajectory ever since Pochettino left the club.
It's difficult. Poch also was. I don't know what happened with Poch. So everybody loved Poch. We were on a bit of a downhill. We lost a few games, and then Poch was gone. It was all pretty quick. Poch, I really can't forgive Poch for not starting Lucas Moura in that final. That's just something that's going to stay with me forever.
That haunts me. I've heard stories that it wasn't actually up to Poch on the day. Oh, that's for another day. But that annoyed me about Poch. I agree with you. If that is the case, that annoyed me.
I'd like to believe that, but ultimately he's the manager. He picks the team. If he wants someone to play, they will play. So I don't know about that. I think Harry Kane.
I think he had his hand forced by the Kane situation.
By Kane himself,
from the top. Yeah, and Kane as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I've got a bit of a different take on that. I feel like Lucas should have started ahead of Dele Alli.
I've heard Sim say that as well.
Sim said it? I think it was me.
But Sim also said that to me. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Anyway, that upsets me, man, because I feel like Liverpool were there for the taking. That still haunts me, you know. Moura was our little lucky charm as well.
The way he scored a hat-trick in the semi-final and then he just gets dropped like that. That just not.
I know.
That's not the way.
Put it this way, Uriel. Yeah. Put it this way. Yeah. 5 years ago, right? We were on level playing field with Arsenal, right? And they've overtaken us.
We were ahead of them.
Right? We were way ahead of them.
That's because they are in the stage that we are now. They were fed up of getting fourth. They wanted to be bigger than fourth. And that's kind of the stage that I see that we're at now. We were getting fourth for quite a while, and then we're all just pissed off about it all of a sudden. We want more, and we're not ready for more. We have to be calm to break into the top 1-2 teams in the country, which would basically be in the world. If we're top in England, we're probably going to be top in the world, aren't we? We're winning the Premier League.
We're not ready because Daniel Levy's not ready. That's what it is, because Daniel Levy doesn't want to push us there.
He's doing it gradually. It's not like
doing it gradually.
We can't just throw money at
gradually. He's taking us down gradually. We're getting worse and worse and worse.
I said at the beginning, Daniel Levy has taken us in 25 years at the club. He's taken us from being mid-table regulars to being top of the table, top four regulars.
And where are we now?
So what I want to say is give him another 25 years.
Oh my God.
Payroll.
You're not being serious. Seriously. You look at the wages, yeah? We have 4 players over 100k in our wages. We're in 2025 guys, and we have 4 players
in 25
over
years.
100k.
Are you happy with that?
And
how many finals have we been in? How many semi-finals?
100K.
We've been in opportunities to win more cups. If we would have won the Champions League and if we would have won one other final, there'd be 2 trophies. You're saying we'd be happy? So you're judging the whole Levy career based on a couple of games.
Well, it's been how many finals then?
We've been on that stage. We've had that platform to win these finals, but we just haven't won them. And it's got nothing to do with Levy. We've had great squads that have got us there. I don't want to turn this into a whole Levy debate because, like I said, we could be here for ages.
I mean, like, even Alan Sugar won 2 trophies, didn't he? Did he not?
Who was he the chairman in 91?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he won 2.
So that dreadful Alan Sugar era had created more trophies than Levy's 25 years.
I reckon if we got to play Leicester in the final, we'd probably beat them too. But if you look at the teams we're playing in the finals now, it's very difficult. We keep coming up against proper teams. Liverpool in the semi-final all the time. We lose to big clubs. We lost to Portsmouth that one year. That was a bit hard to take. But otherwise,
in the semis,
yeah.
Otherwise, you know, we've lost to the better team. We've lost to a bigger club.
I think you're still stuck in the Pochettino era. I think you still think we're in the Pochettino era and we're long gone from that.
I don't think that. I just think, okay, so you want to get rid of Levy. Levy is Spurs. He goes to Spurs every single week. He is Tottenham. He's not in it for the money. He's in it for Spurs. If he was in it for money, Gareth Bale would have been sold.
He's paid to be there. He's paid to sit in the crowd and watch the game. Why wouldn't he?
Held on to Kane
frowned
for as
upon
long
if
as
he
possible. We could have got £250,000 for Kane a couple of seasons earlier, but we held on to him because he knew that Kane is loved by the fans. We had to have Kane. Not one player has left Tottenham on a free. Not one big player has ran out their contract and left. Daniel Levy learned from Campbell, and he's never allowed that to happen to us. No big player has left Spurs for money. They've all left because they wanted to go. They've had enough. They wanted to go to a bigger club. And it wasn't about the money, and it wasn't about us selling them, cashing in for the most money we could get. They left because they all wanted to go. So in terms of managing
why do they want to go there?
Why do they want to go?
Why they want to
because
leave?
It's Real Madrid. It's Modric and Bale went to Madrid. Kane went to Munich.
And Bale,
these clubs are just
Modric and Bale, I can understand. Harry Kane left because we couldn't match his ambitions. That's why he left, and he still took 100 million for him. Why didn't he keep him till the end of his contract? Then if he doesn't care about money?
Do you give any credit to Levy for Kane? Do you give any credit to Levy for players like Modric, Bale, Berbatov, that whole team at White Hart Lane went unbeaten the whole season?
You mentioned one player that we've seen play in the last 15 years.
We never praised Levy. We never praised Levy when we were going through the highs. We never said, oh, this is all down to Levy. He's run our club so well. It's easy to find a scapegoat. When the managers are leaving every single few years, they can't blame the managers because they're always leaving. But Levy gave us everything you want. You wanted a Mourinho, you wanted a winner, you got it. You want Conte, here's another winner, you got it.
Oh, don't give me that shit, because you can't. Yeah, you can. It's all very well and good with the smoke and mirrors of hiring Mourinho and hiring Conte, but what about the players that he gives them? He gave Mourinho and Conte snickle fritz. You can't hire Mourinho and Conte if you don't give them winners to play.
Who was around at the time? Who could we have signed? We tried to sign Diaz, but like I said, we got hijacked. Any big player we try and sign, any big player becomes available. Tottenham are probably the 10th team on his list of teams to move to. So
put it this way, yeah. You hire. Put it this way. You hire Antonio Conte. What Antonio Conte need and Jose Mourinho is a top-level defence. He hires fucking Clement Longley. Who's Clement Longley? He's one of the worst defenders I've seen at Spurs.
Managers bring out different things in players. Look at, obviously, Ferguson is a whole level above. But if you look at the players that Ferguson managed, right, and the O'Shea's, the Wes Browns, the teams that he built dynasties out of, they were average players. A lot of them were average players that he made amazing teams. It's all about the team. Football's a team game. The manager needs to get the team rallied. It's not about signing individual players.
Hang on, he was surrounded. Those Wes Browns were surrounded by like 9 world-class players, though.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But then again, Jan Vertonghen, Toby Alderweireld, when we signed these players, they weren't big names, and they became some of the best defenders in our history. We had some of the best teams from players who we signed, and we didn't think anything of them at the time. Dembele was a bit of excitement when we signed him, but we didn't have no idea how good he would be. And I think we're still realizing every day how good he is, how underrated he was. And every day we think, wow, he's more amazing. It's tough, it's tough. It's easy to say, yes, we should be the #1 team in the country. We were going up, 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 up. And then suddenly we sort of stagnant for a bit and start going down. It's a journey, but we are a club with such stature. And that's thanks to Daniel. We have to appreciate that.
So why are we the 10th likely club for players to go to, like you said, then?
It's about the wages, that ultimately throwing 300, 400 grand at players, which we don't do. We don't have that money to do.
Of course he's got the money. Levy's got the money. Enix's got the money.
Look at some of the players that they've signed and they've given that money to. We would never do that. We would never be able to do that. You think we have the money for that?
So you don't think we're able to do a lot more than what we're doing?
Look, I think we have a very difficult task. To be the best team in the country, to win the league is almost impossible. One team got really lucky, won the league, Leicester. All the other teams that have won the league over the last 25, 30 years have spent billions, have just thrown money at the team, thrown money. They've lost their soul almost. We've kept our soul this whole time. We are Spurs.
We have not kept our soul. Our soul went out the door a long time ago. We finished 4th once in the last 5 years.
Yeah, because the team is at the moment, like I said, we were taking 4th for granted. We were taking being in the top 4, being in the Champions League. We were taking it for granted. It's such a competitive league, the Premier League. Everybody wants that top 4 spot. And we were so cemented there, so solid, until we started to get a bit greedy, wanting more. And now I see these protests for Levy out, and it pains me. Unfortunately, it pains me. We need to rally behind the team, rally behind the board. Ultimately, the board is the club.
Rally behind the board.
Yeah, rally behind everyone. Get together. Just keep the faith. Just keep believing. Keep supporting Tottenham. Not creating divisions amongst the fans. We're very close to seeing fights, beef in the stadium between. There are Levy in. There are a lot of Levy in. Don't just make me sound like I'm the one nutter in the whole.
They are going down by the day.
Yeah, they're
my
fading.
friend.
Luckily,
going
they're
down
fading.
By the day.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be one of the last. I'll be waving my flag.
God. Don't you think though that sometimes things have to get worse before they can get better? I actually think that time's up now with Levy and the board. Clearly, there's a zeitgeist, there's a turning point now, even with the fans. They can see that it's waking everyone up, and I just think everyone is starting to realise it's just Groundhog Day. Every season's Groundhog Day under Levy. There's not enough ambitions, not enough intent. Yeah, he got us in a good position under Poch. There's a lot of moving parts had to work simultaneously to make that work. But let's be honest. Let's stand back and look at the big picture. Shiny new stadium, great training ground, but is the ambition and the intent behind the actual footballing side of things with Levy? I mean, I think that's pretty
I
self-evident, right?
think there is a plan. I think there is a plan. The plan is building the foundations, building the stadium, getting in all that cash so that one day we'll be able to spend the money like complete crazies
Yeah,
and we'll
well,
be able to give out 200 because we have the money coming in. We have a whole structure, an infrastructure.
I don't know. That sounds to me like this time next year, Rodders will be millionaires. That's what it sounds. When I hear you say that, that's
Yeah,
what it sounds
I
like.
understand that. I understand that, but I don't think Levy will let our club just fall away by the wayside. I can't see that happening. He loves Tottenham. He ultimately loves Tottenham. You can't deny that. He's devoted most of his life to Tottenham.
I
do
think he
think
loves
that.
the money.
He
I think
loves
he loves the
money. That's what
profit.
it is.
I
He's
don't,
the
if he loves
highest.
the money, then
He's
like
the
I said, we
highest
would have
paid chairman
sold
in the Premier
Bale.
League.
We would have
By
sold
double, I
Bale
think, as
instead of
well.
dragging him out. We would have sold Kane. We would have
We
sold
did
Modric.
sell
We would have sold
Bale.
all these players. Yeah, but
We sold
until
them all.
we held them on until they wanted to go. Until there almost was it a year or two left on their contract, till they were going to go for cheap, really cheap. We didn't cash in on them at their highest, at their peak. That's for sure. Especially Kane.
So how do you explain the last 5 years then?
The last 5 years has been tough. We have spent money. We've signed the best players available to us every window for the last 5 years. Just now we were crying out for a defender. He went out and he bought Danzo. Who else was there to buy?
Whoopie do.
Oh my
I know,
days.
but I'm saying he's trying. He's giving you what you're asking for.
He's trying. He's trying. You know, like, oh my god.
All right, do
Yeah.
we get a trophy for that?
Yeah.
Going back to the game today, yeah, as we started, okay, we'll get on next time we do a whole Levy channel, a Levy show, Levy program. I'll be here. We'll do a nice debate.
Forget that. We need you in the studio for that. We need you in the studio.
What about Ange? Ange is, I don't know. Sometimes I think, oh, what a guy. I love Ange. You know, this could be the manager for us. This could be our 10-year manager, someone that people will be afraid of. And then sometimes I think, what an idiot. What are you doing? Just
Yeah. So you don't think it was a good appointment from Levy then?
I don't know. Going back to it, it's like Brian. You're just getting obsessed with him, mate. I was waiting. I put a stopwatch on, and to be fair, it took him 8 minutes to mention Daniel Levy, which was a lot longer than I expected. But I don't know. And that game against
What does he need to do for you, Uriel, to keep his job for next season?
who Ange?
Yeah.
Win the Europa League. Win the Europa League.
it?
We'll have a
Is that
really
it?
good excuse for not winning it. A really good reason for not winning it. Why can't we beat? We've got AZ, and I think is it Frankfurt afterwards.
Frankfurt Ajax, yeah.
Our reserves should be playing against these teams and giving them a good game. You know, if we
Yeah,
have
I
our
mean-
strongest team, how are we not winning, blowing them away in the first leg? Just doesn't make
Absolutely.
sense to me.
Absolutely. Mikey Moore was the best player against RZ Alkmaar last time out, and he was 17 years of age.
Yeah, there you go. I know you're looking forward to the Holland away trip.
I am, very
That's
much so.
always
I'm
the dream.
flying out on Wednesday evening next
That's
week.
always the dream, the Dutch away teams.
And we could get a double header. RZ this round, and then Ajax next round.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be a bit too much to take, huh?
I'd love a little Amsterdam trip, to be honest.
Coming?
Yeah.
So and like I said, he speaks amazingly. You know, he's got that sort of man management style that we can all get behind. He can be that father figure. You know, he can write a book. We'd all love his book. But then when it comes to a game like Leicester recently, when we were winning 1-0 at half time, how we were winning 1-0, I don't know. But you think, right, team talk, shape it up, you know, get the players running, get them playing well. And after half time, after 5 minutes, we're losing 2-1.
Yeah.
And he gets me
And
thinking, what
then
did you
game's
say
done.
to them at half time? What did you do in there? You know, like on Championship Manager, when you get the team talk and you say something bad, and then suddenly they all go down, they're all red on morale, and you think, what did I do? That's what he done there. And sometimes we're screaming for the substitutions, shouting, and he just does nothing. He just stands there. He doesn't do the whole, you know, with his hands and fingers and movement and that. That's his style. But sometimes I think we need that. We need that kick. And he just does it. He just seems to just stand there and think, yeah, don't worry, something good will happen. I don't know. I don't know.
See, when you're talking about this, I can feel there's logic behind it and there's a bit of sense. You know what I mean? But it's always like that's like completely different to your
I've got
other
a lot of
argument, you know?
logic, but my heart is bigger than my brain, like a lot of Tottenham fans. And I've always got a soft spot for Daniel because of what he'd done for us. You know, when he came in, Campbell was leaving us. We were about to be like, oh my, where were we going? I cried. I cried when my dad told me Campbell's leaving to Arsenal. I couldn't believe it. I was in tears. As a 10-year-old, I was crying. And then few years later, we got Berbatov, and then we get Modric coming in, and then we're getting these Van der Vaart and all these players that you think, wow, these are top world class players. How are they playing for Spurs? And we have Daniel to thank for that, and that's why I'll always be loyal to Daniel. I always have a soft spot for Daniel. I'll
Yeah,
always
but
give him time.
every top club signs like a the odd top class player
Not
every now and
no,
then.
not every top club, not every top club.
Yeah,
We weren't a
yeah,
top club at the time. We were what Villa are today, and they've signed, maybe you can say Asensio, but even he was nowhere on the level of Van der Vaart was back then. So
They've just signed. If I told you a year ago Villa would be signing Asensio and Rashford, you'd laugh me out the room.
yeah, but things change quickly in football. Rashford is, even if we signed Rashford, would we be excited?
I think he'd actually do a good job for us, Rashford.
Well, you
Probably
think, but
on a
you're not
6-month
sure.
loan. I'm not 100% sure, no.
Anyone but Werner. I just get so annoyed every time Werner plays. He does nothing. He just does nothing. Going back to the game today, yeah, it's tough. We went into it with such. I think we were a bit too cocky. I saw one of your predictions was 4-1 to Tottenham, Ben. Like,
Someone said that in the chat, yeah.
yeah, and that's why we lost, because I think we got a bit too cocky, a bit too lackadaisical. Oh, it's only City. We always beat City. But yeah, you have to give City respect. How we beat them 4-0, I'll never know. Like,
Literally.
that
It's
was just the
probably
maddest
not going
result
to happen
ever.
again. But yeah, I mean, who was your man of the match today? Anyone stood out for you?
The truth is that I only watched the second half because I didn't realize it was a 7:30 kickoff. They
Oh,
got me
you
there.
missed the best part.
They got me good. I thought Tottenham
What, when
City, that's
they did a
surely going to
close up of
be
Levy?
the 8:15 game. They all looked a bit average today. They
Yeah.
didn't really deserve to be a player of the match for Tottenham. Vicario didn't make mistakes, so maybe him.
Yeah.
All
Um,
right.
but yeah, anyway, great to get on the channel. Great for the debut.
Good to have you on, my friend. And
Yes.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah.